Mr. Demos, I want to characterize my request to you this way for the previous two questions that I asked that you would respond to. Will you and can you commit to providing those responses within the next 2 weeks in accordance with the statements I mentioned when I opened these proceedings?
I'll work expeditiously to meet that timeline, sir.
2 weeks?
I'll do my best, sir.
Well, I know you do your best, but I need a commitment. So if it's not 2 weeks, I can accept that. But is it 3 weeks then, or what do you feel comfortable with?
We'll stick with the 2 weeks, sir. Do my best.
Okay, 2 weeks. All right, thank you, sir. So with that, Mr. Dooms and Mr. Demos, in December, the Chairman Graves, and I sent the FBI, GSA, and the former Public Buildings Commissioner, Nina Albert, letters with specific questions and requesting production of certain documents. Interestingly, we only received former Commissioner Albert's responses by the deadline of the letter. We subsequently received initial responses from the FBI and the GSA that was missing a significant amount of the information requested. Then, not surprisingly, after this hearing was confirmed, we received an additional response on Monday, today's Wednesday, from the FBI, and yesterday, Tuesday, GSA, but we're still missing key responses to our request. When will the GSA and the FBI complete the document production to the committees? And Mr. Dooms, I know that Chairman Graves asked you essentially the same question. I know you're interested in cooperating, but look, we got to get something accomplished here. You have leases pending. We need to make decisions, but we're not going to make, I will guarantee you, I'm not going to make decisions or ask anybody on this committee to make decisions without the complete information. So I need to ask you when we will complete the document production, if you know.
Congressman, thank you for that question. We plan to commit the document submission as expeditiously as possible.
Can you commit to 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 month, 6 years? What can you commit to?
Congressman, we've been producing them on a rolling basis. We will continue to do so. We want to cooperate. We've been in close contact with your staff, but I don't believe I can offer a date certain, but
Can you give me your wildest guess? I mean, you get paid every pay period, whether you produce anything or not. The American people demand this information through their representatives. We have to make decisions on behalf of the FBI. We can't make the decisions without the information. What can you commit to? A year? 6 months? 1 month? Give me something.
As soon as possible, Congressman.
Well, as soon as possible, I'm going to characterize that as 2 weeks. Will you commit to 2 weeks? Seems like a reasonable amount of time to me. Because as soon as possible to me is like today, but I'm going to give you 2 weeks.
Congressman, we produce them on a rolling basis. We will continue to do so, and as soon as
Okay,
possible.
so you're not going to answer, you're not going to commit, Mr. Demos. You got anything better? This is the FBI, the most storied and effective intelligence and law enforcement agency on the planet. Can you commit to anything?
Again, sir, we will work as expeditiously as possible.
Well, I got to tell you, that's pretty weak in a business that I operated in and that I managed. You wouldn't have a job, but with that, let me ask one final question. Taxpayers invest a tremendous amount of money in leased field offices that go far beyond the rental payment. There are several examples of evidence rooms, holding cells, armories, classified rooms, physical security infrastructure, and a variety of other things. Most of these investments have a useful life far beyond the 20 years, and so it would seem extremely wasteful and unreasonable to ask taxpayers to pay for a new build to suit leases every 20 years for an FBI field office. Does that sound reasonable? Would you agree with that? It's unreasonable to ask them to commit to that, and then that hard infrastructure goes away? Either one of you guys?
Sir, absolutely. There is a significant amount of upfront investment for FBI space, and that's why I would say as leases come up for renewal, that is why the vast majority, when we look at the procurement strategy, does not actually result in a relocation. As we look at the last 5 years, we had 14 commercial leases reach the end of life. 12 of those ultimately resulted in staying in place.
Well, I will tell you, we're going to be taking a look at that portfolio with that in mind. Some of the prospectuses pending before this committee would effectively guarantee that wasteful outcome, and we don't want that. So we don't want the highest cost option possible to be justified And so I just want to let you know that moving forward. With that, my time has expired. And I would recognize now the ranking member, Ms. Titus.